continue with our rolling coverage of the ongoing unrest in Durban. That's where an Afrox gas plant is on fire on Queen Nandi Drive.
That's right. Our Karinda Jagmohan and the rest of the team are actually on the ground for us. In a moment, we'll also take you to Guatemala, where Malungelo Boy is counting the cost of the looting of the past couple of days. But we start in KZN. Karinda, we can see the debris behind you. Get us up to speed. What took place overnight?
Absolutely. Good morning to you. I'm on Queen Nandi Drive, in the middle of Queen Nandi Drive. I'm seeing absolute destruction. There's still fires ongoing. And like you just mentioned, there is a huge fire coming out from what we understand is an Afrox warehouse. This must still, or an Afrox a factory or warehouse. This must still be confirmed by the authorities as well. We understand that a game warehouse has also caught fire. There is one soldier on this, rather two soldiers I've seen on the scene here, while police are still trying to catch up with looters that have been on the ground, trying to pick up some of the pieces. But the entire road, it's absolutely destroyed. The warehouses on Queen Nandi Drive have been broken into, satellite vehicles have been torched while people are still looting. But while I'm here and we're crossing, we're approached by these men. They work at the petrol station near Queen Nandi Drive. They say now they're protecting this petrol station. Mandla, you came here, you were so angry when you got on the ground. Tell me, how are you feeling right now?
I'm so disgusted. The problem is they broke into engine and the side. Also on North and South petrol ports, they broke into our offices. Now we're protecting what we have, because when this all over, we're going to be out of our job. So if we're going to depend on someone else, we're not going to have job at the end of the day. So we decided we take action on ourselves. We're chasing anyone that we see. From Sunday, we've been up and down, up and down. This is my personal car. I'm using it for protection for our job, not for only my job, for our job. We're up and down. So whoever is deciding that he's going to come to the garage, he's going to meet us. We're protecting what we belong to us. I'm protecting. My boss was here. He just left now. Other boss on that side is there at the moment from yesterday. So we're protecting whatever is ours. They can do whatever they like on the other companies. We don't care. But what's mine? Put food on my table? That's what I'm protecting for. I've got all these guys. They're working for us. They're with us at the moment. So, guys, it's very bad. It's very bad. What we're doing is wrong, because at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt us during the long run. I'm telling you. We can take the food and take the full screen now, but at the end of the day, during the week, what you're going to eat.
Mandla and Lugelo, walk with me and my colleague Pilani Zuman. Let's look at the destruction here. Mandla, you've worked in this area for a while. Come stand here and tell me.
Check my car.
You've got damages on your car. But as you look at this destruction, at the place where you live and work, how are you feeling right now?
It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. I can't even imagine that people can do this. Even where I'm staying there in Quarright, it's like this. I don't know. But that's how the life. I don't know how this got with Zuma. I don't know. They're saying they're doing this for Zuma. How it's going to benefit him? How it's going to benefit us? I don't know.
Thank you, Mandla. What's your name or your surname?
Mandla Ramsa.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. He works at a local petrol station that's nearby, and he says he's been using his personal car to try and stop what is happening here. Let's move to this side, Pilani. The fires are still raging, and as we stand here, all around us, I'm seeing the warehouses that are here have been burnt, vehicles have been torched, and police are now manning this road, trying to chase away whoever comes here. Let's try and get you closer to the fire. We are obviously going to be driving there just after this, but we want to show you what's on the scene. Looters tried to steal this equipment here. Some are still in the distance where police are. There's fires there. And the black plumes of smoke you're seeing is what we understand is the fire at Afrox. But again, we need to confirm this with the company and authorities on the ground that are closer here. Police are unable to actually tell us what and confirm with us what is there. I see a RAM building as well as other warehouses close by, but you must understand that there are several assets here, and I want to also show you looters actually that police are making them take out their loot. Let's go and see what they have here. So this has been going on overnight, where people are coming to pick up the pieces. And you can see here, let's stand right here. They're being told to come off the vehicle. Police are searching what they have. And I am seeing some assets that are in this vehicle, and police are questioning why they are here and what they have with them, as you can see. Earlier on, I saw a soldier even chasing away the pedestrians that were coming here. And what another policeman told me is that there are some people that are just trying to go to work. He doesn't know even where they are going to work because so many companies have been affected, while police are trying to decipher the looters from the civilians in this way, stopping vehicles, checking what's inside. But this is, of course, a reactionary response after seeing the devastation on the street. Pilani, let's try and just move here to show our viewers the debris lying across Queen Nandi Drive. Residents of Durban, those who are familiar with this area, know this area. They know that this is a place where factories are, warehouses are, a sort of an economic hub of the city as well. It's completely destroyed. I've never seen anything like this, where even vehicles are abandoned, and we saw people then looting vehicles. So at this time, this is a no-go zone, definitely. Police are standing off and chasing whoever comes here, while people are still picking up the debris. I'm seeing looters still running away from police with their loot. I see an armored vehicle at the side, and that's about its complete destruction here on Queen Nandi Drive. Ayanda and Michelle.
Karinda, let's talk through the issues around the Afrox warehouse or plant that is on fire. You were telling us that you're still waiting for official confirmation that it is indeed an Afrox warehouse. The other big story in the midst of the riots and looting in KZN is, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. Wide-ranging implications for what it will mean for the provision of oxygen to our hospitals and for those who need that life-saving treatment.
Absolutely. Let's walk more towards this fire. My colleague Pilani is behind the camera. The Afrox is a company that is a distributor of oxygen, mainly for our hospitals and healthcare facilities. In fact, when you see the oxygen tanks that are being supplied, you'll see their name, Afrox. I'm sure our viewers have seen trucks with the words Afrox on it. This is a supplier of oxygen, and you know that at this time of COVID-19, that resource is so important. And if this is indeed the Afrox warehouse, or there is any sort of chemicals, oxygen as well, stored here, I mean, one can imagine the devastation if that fire reaches the part where oxygen is stored, because it would have, I mean, utter consequences for the factory itself and the warehouses around it. But again, Michelle, we need a confirmation from the company authorities closer to the ground, because we're not close enough to actually decipher what is on fire. But we do know that there is a game warehouse, or Afrox warehouse, in the vicinity of where I'm seeing the black smoke coming from. We can even get you a little bit closer to show you just further on how vehicles have been just blocked off the intersection closer there. There's fires there as well, and just debris along the road. Fuel stations, we understand, have been closed. It is very difficult to get fuel this morning. There are some stations that are opened with armed civilians protecting those fuel pumps, but there's long queues outside, and they're open, I understand, for a very short amount of time before closing for safety reasons. And also there is an issue of getting basic goods at grocery stores that are being very cautious when they try to open with the assistance of armed civilians at this point. I'm talking about the areas around Durban especially, where people now are trying to get their basic goods. I understand that some people are trying to stockpile in fear of a food issue, a food security issue, because of what we are seeing here, and looters constantly overnight taking to the streets, especially during the late parts of the night, to further continue their looting and sabotage of companies and vehicles that are carrying goods. There are more Metro Police officers here, and it looks like they are basically now scouring the scene, looking for any looters who could be picking up any debris. And that's about what's happening here. I mean, cars are just abandoned in the middle of the road. It's chaos on Queen Nandi Drive, as it has been overnight.
This particular development, Karinda, is coming the morning after the security cluster in this country tried to reassure South Africans that they do have a handle of the situation. What you're seeing obviously points to the fact that that's not entirely true.
No, they don't have a handle of the situation at all. If they did, we wouldn't have seen the chaos that I'm seeing now on Queen Nandi Drive, because they did have the time to attend to the situation. Just as I came here, just before we went live, I saw 2 soldiers, and that was really it, that chased one pedestrian away, and then the vehicle drove off. It was a private vehicle. So I'm not seeing authorities actually take a proactive response to when the looting is taking place, when the warehouses are being set on fire. Instead, the responses are to the pedestrians that are here. Let's see what this armored vehicle is up to, though, because there is necessarily no one for them to go through. Okay, here he's going to check. He's going to check what is in this vehicle. There you go. So they're checking vehicles. They're making sure there's no sense of what is being stolen, and they're checking where people are going, making sure to direct people in the right places. But I mean, this is after everything has been burnt down, after this chaos that I'm seeing. So one will question whether or not the minister had his team really prepared on the ground after, I mean, most parts of Durban, companies, small businesses, grocery stores and fuel service stations have been impacted. And yesterday, the KZN Premier telling us that the recovery will take years to come in terms of the economic recovery. I heard that overnight malls have been burnt down, the areas around that looted. And what I'm also seeing on social media as I wake up this morning is that here you can also see police just checking the pedestrians here. What I'm seeing on social media is many residents in the Durban area and surrounding area haven't even slept since Sunday night when the looting has started. They have been tense, wondering whether there's going to be break-ins now into personal homes at this time. And that is why we are seeing the armed civilians on the ground trying to protect their areas. We heard reports of live ammunition also being used. And I can also tell you that from the reports I'm seeing over ground, that number of fatalities, which was initially at 26, should have increased by now, judging by what we are seeing happening overnight, just last night, with civilians and police trying to protect their areas. You can see here people are also just trying to get to work as well, and so they're impacted too. So this is the situation on the ground. We just see some more people trying to get past, but this is what is happening here, Ayanda, and we're going to obviously be giving you the updates throughout the day.
In terms of, before we let you go, in terms of the losses in KZN, I heard a number that was bandied about, I think it was early yesterday, that the losses could be running into in excess of 1 billion rand. Given what we've seen behind you there this morning, what's probably happened overnight as well in the rest of the province, that number will be increasing exponentially.
Absolutely. So yesterday morning, the KwaZulu-Natal Premier, Sihle Zikalala, called the media to a undisclosed location because they feared any threats to that briefing that he would be having. And he told us that there's an estimated, while we speak, look at the damage to this car, there is an estimated 1 billion rand in losses caused by, or rather in damages to infrastructure in both the private and public sector. But I mean, just judging by what has then happened overnight with the warehouses catching on fire, that number could have potentially increased because of what we are seeing. And still people trying to, walk away with whatever they can. I'm unsure if this woman here is simply, going home or, this is something that she has taken. But yeah, this is the situation on the ground. 1 billion rand in damages estimated, but that number is expected to have increased overnight as we still see firefighters trying to attend. The smaller fires, while we are going to head towards the bigger fire that we're seeing raging on past Queen Nandi Drive. So please do stay with us, viewers, as we bring you updates from the ground in Durban.
Karinda Jagmohan, thanks very much indeed.